Eala comes up short anew against Valentova in Qatar Open. There would be no measure of payback on Monday for Eala, and there would also be no second-round appearance in Doha. Playing the first match of the day at the center court of the Khalifa International Tennis and Squash Complex, filled to capacity by Filipino fans, the 20-year-old Eala could not overcome the superior strength of 18-year-old Teresa Valentova of the Czech Republic, who scored a 7-6, 6, 6-1 victory in their opening round matchup in the 2026 Qatar TotalEnergies Open. Eala and Valentova had previously clashed in the opening round of the WTA 250 Japan Women's Open last October, with the Czech team prevailing in straight sets, 6-1, 6-2. Valentova, ranked number 48, is the second youngest player in the top 50, next only to American teen star Iva Jovic, and appeared to have read the Filipinas game well enough to score a repeat win. The Czech dictated the pace of the contest with powerful, sharp ground strokes that Eala struggled to counter. Eala found herself digging out of an early 0-2 hole in a first set marked by momentum swings. She responded in time, taking the next 4 games. Valentova, however, showed her own resilience, tying the count at 4-4 and keeping pace through the 12th game to force a tiebreak. After Eala held a slim 3-2 lead, Valentova strung together 4 quick points to surge ahead, 6-3. Eala saved 3 set points but faltered the rest of the way, allowing the Czech team to wrap up the set after 1 hour and 2 minutes. The tightly contested, drawn-out opening set proved to be the confidence boost Valentova needed. In the second set, she required just 31 minutes to eliminate Eala from the first WTA 1000 event of the year. Valentova, who reached the third round of the Australian Open this January, will next face her Czech compatriot, world number 19 Karolina Muchova, who scored a dominant 6-2, 6-3 win over world number 36 Jacqueline Christian of Romania on Sunday. The next chapter, Eala comes up short anew against Valentova at Qatar Open. In the harness of opportunity and echoes of expectation, sports often writes its own stories, dramatic, unpredictable, and deeply human. For Eala, the rising Filipina tennis sensation, the 2026 Qatar TotalEnergies Open was another chapter in a season built on tenacity, growth, and the restless pursuit of excellence. Yet on this night in Doha, her path diverged from triumph to a quiet exit, defeated in straight sets by Czech teenager Teresa Valentova, a result that adds complexity to her journey rather than diminishing it. The moment that was Doha in full swing. On February 9, 2026, under the glowing lights of the Khalifa International Tennis and Squash Complex in Qatar, Eala took the court in the first round of a WTA 1000 event, one of the elite stages on the women's tour. The expectation was palpable, with Filipino fans filling stands and social feeds alive with support. It was more than just a match, it was an opening statement in a season charged with promise. Standing across the net was 18-year-old Teresa Valentova, a rising Czech talent who had already bested Eala in their only prior meeting at the 2025 Japan Women's Open. In Doha, Valentova again demonstrated her form, winning 7-6, 6, 6-1, the scoreline crisp, the result definitive. Eala's campaign ended without the fireworks her supporters might have hoped for. Beyond the scoreline, what it means. At first glance, the result can seem disappointing, another straight sets loss to the same opponent. But to judge solely by the scoreboard would be to miss the deeper currents that define both Eala's season and her evolving identity as a competitor. Eala is 20 years old, playing at the highest level of women's tennis, and has been on a remarkably steep trajectory. Prior to Doha, she secured a career-high WTA ranking inside the top 40, a marker of her consistent improvement and her ability to challenge seasoned professionals on tour. Her year had already been punctuated by notable results: a quarter-final showing in the Abu Dhabi Open, a solid run in the Australian Open, competitive matches in Auckland and her home event in the Philippines, and her ascendancy through the rankings from number 50 at the start of the season to a new personal best. The Qatar Open, being a WTA 1000 event, presented tougher competition than most, and that is exactly the point. The tournament is stacked with world-class players, from Grand Slam champions to seasoned top 10 talents. For a young player like Eala, every match carries a lesson, regardless of the outcome. The opponent, a familiar challenge. Valentova is no ordinary opponent. She is an 18-year-old phenom from the Czech Republic, herself a winner in junior Grand Slam competitions and a player rapidly climbing the professional ranks. The two had met previously at the Japan Women's Open, where Valentova delivered a lopsided victory, setting the stage for Doha's rematch. Their head-to-head record, though limited, tells part of the story. Valentova leads, and her comfort in exploiting her strengths on pivotal points has proven effective both times. Yet for Eala, every meeting with a familiar adversary, even one that has beaten her before, is a chance to grow, to adapt, to refine her approach. The night in Doha may not have ended in her favor, but it deepened her understanding of her own game and what it takes to break through against consistent performers. The match, a tale of dynamics. In the opening set, Eala fought hard, pushing Valentova to a tiebreak that stretched the first set to its limits. This was not a passive performance, it was a testament to her grit and determination. A few key points here, a slightly missed opportunity there, and the momentum might have swung. Instead, Valentova edged out the set, and once she had that foothold, she surged in the second, capturing the match with growing confidence. This kind of match, close, competitive, but just short, is part of the sport's DNA. For a young star, there is often a line between a breakthrough and a setback. Eala's close first set was evidence that she belongs in these high-pressure moments. Her nervous energy and fervent effort brightened the match even if the final margin favored her opponent. Context: more than a loss. To put this result in context, consider the arc of Eala's season and her growing resume. In the Abu Dhabi Open alone, she not only reached the singles quarterfinals but also partnered with Janice Tien to make the doubles semifinal, displaying versatility and partnership on tour. The physical and emotional toll of competing back-to-back in singles and doubles, across different environments and time zones, is not trivial. Then there's the ranking milestone. Breaking into the top 40 is a remarkable achievement for any player, and it signals that Eala is consistently delivering positive results. For a developing athlete, consistency at the elite level often outweighs sporadic victories. The Qatar Open loss, while acute in its disappointment, doesn't erase a season of growth. Psychological dimensions, rising with resilience. There's an emotional layer here that sports writers love but athletes live, the tension between expectation and performance. For fans, especially in the Philippines, Eala's journey has become deeply personal. Every tournament carries the weight of collective hopes. And yet, for the player herself, growth is rarely linear. Setbacks are not failures. They are feedback loops that sharpen resolve. Eala's performance in Doha may have fallen short of victory, but she displayed core attributes of